Alright, what's up and welcome back to the channel. This is I and I, the one and only Prokon Geek. yes, okay, that was a pretty dry intro, but yo, welcome back. This is the Prokon Geek, and yes, finally, I am back. I have started recording a video for you guys, and in today's video, if you remember, if we go back, let's just try and go to my channel. Let's just close this. Let's go to my Chrome and we go to YouTube, obviously. As you already know, guys, it's been a long time since I recorded anything. This has been a long time. So let's go to your channel and we're gonna go to the community tab. And if you remember, I promised you, oh man, it's been 2 months actually. We were talking about, I recently just got a double story building shop from a brother and from another mother, and I asked you if you guys wanted a Let's Design and a walkthrough series, and 90% of you said you want a Let's Design and a walkthrough series, where the Let's Design is just me basically having a freestyle with you guys and showing you how to actually design, or how I do this building designs normally, how I do it. Then the walkthrough series will be more short and straight to the point. So it seems a lot of you want both series to come out, which is quite cool, because for the Let's Design, this will be mostly me just freestyling right now and talking to you and maybe saying some nonsense or useless things. But then let me just tell you something. It's been a full 3 months since I haven't done structural engineering. That is the truth. So I'm a bit rusty. So we're going to be cutting some corners here and there, but I'm just going to make, what I'm going to be teaching is called the lazy design, the lazy person design. So I got the building from the brother of the guy who's a structural engineer. So there are two brothers, one is an architect and the other one is a structural engineer. So I asked them if I could use this drawing for my YouTube channel, and they were like, yo, no problem, you can definitely use this drawing, which is kind of cool, huh? And oh, by the way, it is 25 December, man, so Merry Christmas. Yes, I actually wanted to start these videos at 5 a.m. and I know this is a crazy thing, I'm doing these videos on a Christmas day, but hey man, I've done way crazier things than this. I remember one time, anyways, no, we're not supposed to be talking about my exes here. Let's just focus on structural design. So what we're going to be doing, this is going to be the first video in the Let's Design. So we're doing a double story design part 2, and this is the Let's Design series. So what happened is the architect, let's just go. We're going to go to documents, and then we go to program tutorials, and then we go to the Sook shop. So the architect, what he did is, he did it in Revit, so he gives you out the elevations, different elevations. Each elevation or each floor plan is on its own drawing, which is a bit difficult to handle with. So what I went and did, just to save us time, but don't worry, I didn't do anything. I just went and took all the floor plans. As you can see, normally they're individuals. For example, as you can see right now, we have the east elevation, and there you have the ground floor. So they're separate. But what I did is, to save us time, I also have this template. And oh, by the way, my mouse button, the scroll is dead, so I'm not able to pen by clicking down on the mouse wheel. So we have to manually pen, or we'll just do the trick where we zoom out, then we zoom in to wherever we want. So what I'm going to do is, a lot of you were telling me, dude, why don't you just give us your drawing, your AutoCAD template? This is the thing. Let me tell you something. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you this drawing without the notes, without the detail circles, and with the foundation layout for the double story layouts. The reason why I'm doing this is because some of those things is classified and it takes a lot of time to come up with these things. And by the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't do this, but you know, I'm actually doing this for you. I'm actually going to help you out. What I'll just do is, I'll just leave the double story layouts for you there. But when it comes to the detail circles, the other pen settings, and what else, the notes, dude, I'm not gonna give you that. That is just confidential stuff. That is just confidential. Because by the way, you know, I'm giving you this architectural drawing, and the brother might not have been too happy with me giving you this architectural drawing, but I talked to him, so it's quite okay. So I'm going to give you that. And by the way, if you're just new to my channel, please subscribe, please like, and please share. And you might be wondering why this guy is saying he's going to be designing a double story building, but he's just talking. But don't worry, I'm going to leave a link in the description to tell you, skip this introduction. But this introduction is for people who I haven't talked to in 2 months now. It's been 2 months. And let me just say something. Let me go to my home page. Let me just say something. Let me just close this. Thank you very much, guys. This is 1.79k subscribers, and by the way, YouTube still hasn't monetized my videos, so I am not making any money from YouTube. So don't worry. Some of you may be thinking, oh, you just wanted to crash 1,000. Crack 1,000 subscribers, then leave the channel because it starts. I am not making any money from YouTube. That's why you see, if you check my videos, none of them has ads, man. I don't make money from this. Actually, I was hoping you guys would be like, oh, dude, don't worry, we gonna cater for you, man. If YouTube is not gonna give you money, we gonna give you money, man. Anyways, that's a story for another day. But I just wanted to tell you I don't make money from this. So the other reason why is I had to find a different work in the food industry, and also I started making YouTube videos for other people because they pay me to make videos for them and then they upload them. So at the end of the day, we do need some money. But Merry Christmas to you guys. I actually wanted to start these videos at 5 a.m. but it started raining, and I stay in a place where the IBR shit is just closed. I have no ceiling, so the roof is IBR shit. So whenever it's raining, it makes a lot of noise, man. It's straight yekidero to the roof, if you know what I mean. So anyways, I've been talking too much. We definitely need to get started. So I'm just going to leave a link in the description for people to skip this introduction. Those, I want you to tell people this is the introduction, me just ranting and just saying Merry Christmas to you guys. So without wasting too much time, we definitely need to go back. And we are recording using Filmora, by the way. So let me just check. Are we recording? It's just open recorder. Yes, we are. 7 minutes. Damn, that's a long rant. So without wasting too much time, let's go back. And by the way, let me just say this as well. My Prokon is in demo. I don't know what happened, but my Prokon is in demo. So we are not actually going to be able to design this build until I go back to the Prokon guys and then they give me the license, because I changed my laptop, so I think it was not able to register that we are in demo. Oh, it's still the same guy, right? So we're gonna have to do that. And obviously, I'm gonna have to just blank out the last part. That's my full name out there, so that you guys don't see what my full name is, because I'm confidential and compartmentalized like that. Anyways, without wasting too much time, let's get started. This is going to be a list design. The walkthrough is where I'm going to be teaching you how to. It's quick, straight to the point, maybe 5 to 10 minute videos, but this one might be quite long. So as I said, the pan wheel is not working, so you're gonna have to either zoom in like this and then zoom out. So first things first, when you get a drawing like this, we already now starting the list design. So this is a shop, and what he told me is the client wanted a framed building. So what we're basically talking about, this is the simplest type of building that you can build, where you have your bases, your columns, your beams, and your slabs. And normally your walls are not going to be load bearing, and they're just going to be taking it down to the ground. But what we're going to have for this one is, the first thing that you do is obviously get all your drawings into one project. And once they're in one project, what you're going to do is scan through. There you have the section, and then you have the east elevation, then you have the north elevation, and then you have the south, and then you have the west. So the west and the east are the sides, the north is the front, and the south elevation is the back. So yeah, you have this file. And if you go to the ground floor, what you're going to check is the stairs are not connected to the building, in the sense that they're not monolithic with the building. These are actually going to be steel stairs. I talked to the architect, so, and they were actually done by a different firm. These are guys who just specialize in steel, so they were doing the stairs for them, so you don't have to worry about this. But whenever you get a drawing from an architect, preferably someone who uses Revit or uses AutoCAD. This guy uses Revit, so we're going to just be using whatever they have right now is what we're going to be using. And I know my voice may be a little deep right now, maybe it's the morning time. This is the morning when I usually send voice notes to chicks, because this is where I sound the most creepiest. That's not creepiest, it's creepy, not creepy. Anyways, so there we have the ground floor, then we have the first floor, then we have the sections and the elevations. So the first thing that you just want to identify is, can we actually build a frame? And I'm looking at the structure here, and as you can see, the deck is to the engineer's design, and the deck does have downstand. So already we do have that provision. From the architect's view, we can actually provide downstand beams. And obviously at the eaves is where we might need to provide eaves beams, and in this case the wall was going all the way to the roof, but that's not a problem. You can always hide the beam within the eaves, right? But the first thing that you would want to do, the first thing first, if you're new to the channel, the first thing that you do is just right click. This is list design. This is what I would do. So hopefully it doesn't start dragging on me, because a lot of things are happening at the same time. I got my internet on, and so let's just copy it to this point. Let's just go to this point, because you know when you, and I told you I cannot pan, so if I click the bottom or I click on my mouse or the scroll wheel, I am not able to pan. So we're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, but to quickly do it, so select everything. This is what you do. First, we want to remove the dimensions, so you need to understand what layer the dimensions are on. So this is good if you're using someone who does Revit. So the dimensions are on ANODs. So what you're going to do is just go back, click escape, select everything, then right click, then quick select. Then what you're going to do is you want to select by layer, then you're going to go to ANODs. So ANODs is there. So once you select ANODs, just say okay, then click delete, and as you can see, all the dimensions are out. Then the next thing that you obviously want to do is remove the stairs, but this one you can do it manually, you don't have to worry too much. So just remember the stairs, we're not focusing on them, because so just click on the bottom of Alright, so we are recording with Audacity as well, so there's a lot of things happening. That's why it seems as if my PC is a bit slow. I'm on the internet as well. It's chowing up a lot of data. Hopefully it doesn't chow up a lot of data. But then again, 25 gig is like too bad. So what I'm just now doing is, remember, we're just cleaning out the drawing. So you have to remove everything that is not. So just click on this. This is a area hidden. So we just want to, let's just do it quickly. Quick select, and you go to layer, then hidden area identification. Actually, it's not hidden, area identification. Then you just delete, and as you can see, everything goes up. And then this one is ADO. So what you're going to do is select everything, quick select, then you go to layer again, then you go to ADO, and just clap on that, click on delete. That is okay. This is what layer? This is pen fixtures. So just PAN fixtures. So quick select PAN fixtures, go to the layer, select by what type of layer that you want. PAN, I'm sure it was sanitary fixtures. So because they're sanitary, you know, then you obviously just want to remove this. You can always reference the drawing from the top, so you don't have to worry about that. Then this one, what you can do is just get the erase to, remove this. This is not necessary as well. I'm not sure what is happening, because I'm just supposed to, and then it deletes. All right, so delete everything that's not necessary. All you want is to remain with the structural frame. So there we have this blue line as well. It's not necessary, so just repeat the previous method. And yeah, man, it's quite cool, huh? It's easy. You will find that removing everything is quite easy. Hopefully the sound for this video is not going to be too bad, because I'm speaking with a sort of a deep voice. So when you have a deep voice, usually it doesn't work out. You have to have that squeaky voice. The squeaky voice is what comes out when you're using a microphone, or when you're just recording in general. I've seen that. That's why in music, people who sing with those high-pitched voices, you know, the Justin Bieber's, the Zion. Oh, did I say that correctly? Or did I butcher my English? Anyways, it's not important. That's not why we're here. So we have to remove this as well. And remember, this is for the ground floor. So when it comes to the ground floor, this is not important, because this is just the pavement. Remember, so we can remove that. So we just remove. And remember, you have the drawing, so you can always follow along. What I'm just saying, this is just the pavement. Look, this is the pavement. We don't have to worry about this. Any contractor can do this on their own. Now, the next thing that we've done is we have established sort of the frame. And there we go. Let's just remove this hatch. This is what type of hatch is this? Let's go. Then we go to home. This is a wall pattern. So what you can do is just select by this, then quick select, and go to layer. Then you're gonna go to a wall pattern, a wall pat. That's good. So that's the beauty of yes, when you're dealing with someone who uses Revit. So as you can see, we have removed everything. Then the next thing that we're going to do is just go to this reference. I'm going to leave this in so that you guys can reference. So just MA to select the red. All right, that's cool. Then you're going to go back. Remember, we cannot pan, so I cannot pan. So I'm going to have to use this trick I call the zoom in and zoom out type of pan. So, right, everything has to be in red. That looks good. We're just going to clean up everything. So this is MA. Again, mesh properties. And by the way, it's been a long time since I've done structural engineer. So in a case where I'm a bit rusty, I forget some moves, it happens. Things happen, man. Things happen. You know, things happen. In my vernacular, we say or easier. Things happen. So, and then it says this is going to be a canopy. Let me just show you. If you go to the section, as you can see right now, you have a canopy. It's not a balcony actually. So there's going to be a canopy over there on the first floor, and there's going to be a canopy on the eaves as well. So you'll find that the ground floor is what we're going to use to come up with the structural foundation and the structural first floor. But the first floor is what we're going to use for the structural eaves layout. But right now, what we're just going to do is we're just going to make this. Now, let me just MA, and let me go back. I'm just going to grab this blue, grab that blue, and make sure this one is blue as well. All right. So here we've cleaned up everything. The next thing that you would want to do is now draw a line in green. So just make sure PK Geek beams is selected, and then obviously just go and snap to this point. And by the way, if I don't provide this when the video drops, this drawing, I will be trying to make sure that I don't give you a drawing that is anything that could have me sued or anything that would infringe, because the moment I give you anything that the people who gave me this drawing are not happy with, I will have to take down the video, and it won't be good for you, it won't be good for me, because the video will be out, will no longer be there, and the problem is I will have to do another video, which I don't want to do another video. You know, you get the point. So let's just create lines wherever we have an opening, and we're going to use this for reference later on. So let's just create. This is what you do then. You go to wherever you had an opening, and that's where you start putting your lines. And then what we're going to do is just select this and let's say extend. Then we're going to highlight this line so that we just make sure that everything is extended to that point. And once we do that, the next thing what we're going to do, and hopefully the audio quality is going to be good. If it's not too good, please bear with me, as I told you. And by the way, some of you are asking, where have you been, man? On Prokon Geek. Also, I need to update my LinkedIn today, because I've been quiet about where I've been doing my stuff. But you said I've not been doing anything that has to do with structural engineering. I've actually been on the radio, man. Road shows. I'm joking. I haven't done road shows, but I was supposed to be doing it next year, but unfortunately, I'm also moving again. I'm going to another remote area. So right now I was in Manicaland, in the Eastern Islands, actually. Beautiful country, by the way. Beautiful place. So remember what we're just doing, to those who just joined or who just maybe are lost, we're just putting lines wherever we have openings. So the green lines will signify that this was an opening. So what we were doing, this process is called cleaning the layout. This is just cleaning the drawing. This is what you do. We haven't actually started making the layouts, we're just cleaning the drawing. So this is mostly not engineering stuff. This is what technicians and draftsmen people usually do. I know there's a lot of people who don't want to be called technicians. People don't want to be associated with certain. I don't really understand it. You know why you would not want to be associated with. But then I'm not saying you should. You are worse, or you. I'm not saying if you have a BSc you're better than someone with a BEng or BTech. Or if you have a BTech, you're better than someone with a BSc or a B. You know, we are all there to complement each other for a reason. You know, it's supposed to be there. And I also had, polytechnics are starting to do a lot of theoretical things, which I don't think is good, man. Because that's the tech part is the practical. All right, anyways, there we go. So this process, what we're doing is we're just establishing the green lines wherever we have openings, so it's to make sure that you understand whenever we're going to use this for reference. So what we're going to do, this was supposed to be the cleaned the structurals, but I'm just going to copy this. Let's copy this and let's remove F8. I still know how to use AutoCAD after 3 months, which is kind of cool. All right, and Control A, and we're just going to say this is the cleaned layouts. All right, and I'm just going to grab it. Do I have my properties? Actually, I don't have my properties. So let me go to View and Properties. Where is the properties? properties palette. Where is the, I don't see the properties palette. This is not, I don't see the properties palette. Is it supposed to be somewhere? I don't see it. Anyways, you know what? Let's just scale it up. We will see how to. I'll try and. I can't be doing that whilst. How do you scale again? How do you scale in AutoCAD? I think I forgot. Oh yeah, this is how you scale. So you specify the base point, then you specify the scale. So I'm just gonna put it at 2. All right. So this is just to indicate that this is our clean layout. Now the next thing we're just gonna do is let's copy this, but let's copy it from this point. Copy it to this point, and also at this point. Now we actually need to start making our structurals, right? Our structurals. So this is going to be a pretty long video, but who cares, man? This is the list. This is how you do the list design. So we have cleaned the layouts. We're cleaning the layouts. Now we need to establish the structural layout. So what you do is then you copy the cleaned layouts and you grab from this point and then you go to this point. So what we're going to do is, remember, we need a structural frame. So in other words, we need a base, we need columns, we need beams, and we're going to need our slabs. So it's now up to you to just, it's a preliminary design. So what you're going to do is just look where you think, okay, I'm going to need my bases there, I'm going to need my, what do you call this? My beams and my columns. So the first thing we're going to start off with are the bases. So at the foundation, since this is going to be a frame structure, that means the walls are not going to be carrying any loads. So we're not actually going to be using load bearing walls. We're just going to use common bricks, which are going to be cheap, and then they can just, as you can see, he's going to plaster everything. He's going to plaster everything. As you can see, he's going to plaster everything. If you go to the east elevation, as you can see, this is the edge shows he's going to plaster. It's not going to be brick, so he's going to plaster. So I think that's what he meant, that he wanted a frame structure so that he would just plaster the bricks. He didn't want something that too expensive for him. But then again, the concrete is a bit expensive, but then also he wanted something that was strong and something that would not. But I don't know why he wanted a frame structure, because you could have actually just done load bearing bricks and just have them take the load down to the, it was much easier. We would just need to design the, what do you call this, the slab. But anyways, it is what it is. He has to do what he wants. You can't force him, man. You can't force him. And I know maybe the bearing pressure for the soil was a bit low, but we're just going to use a minimum of 200. So the first thing that you're going to do now, once you establish, is to size your bases, or the first thing is to size the column. Yeah. So what I'm thinking straight off the bat, if you just want to check annotation, I know this is from Zimbabwe, so it's going to be 230 wall. 230 wall. So 230 wall. That's true. So a 230 by 230 column for this one might be a bit small, because this is pretty long, this is pretty short. So right off the bat, what I'm just going to do, this is what you actually do when you're designing. You just start thinking to yourself, what type of column size do I want? And in this case, I'm just going to pull, so a 230 by 3 times. Let's see what this is. So this is what, 5,000, and this is 8,000, almost 5 and 9. 5 and 9, that's 5 over 9. That's, I'm not too sure what it is, but if you get a 2, that's 2 over 4, approximately there, but not really there. So it would be something similar to, all right, so this is what we're going to do. If it's a 9, it's almost 5. So this is what we can do. What we're going to do is we're going to use a 230 by 500 column. That's what I'm thinking. So the first thing that we're going to do is let's just grab a line. Oh, the auto mode is off. So what we're going to do is let's grab Control Z. So yeah, this is what you actually do when you're doing the list design. You're just thinking to yourself, what am I going to do? And then you just do it. So we're going to offset this by 500. All right, now that seems cool. And since we've offset it by 500, what we're going to do is, let me just drag it all the way to this point. Then we're going to go to the rectangle line, grab a rectangle, then grab to that point and grab to that point. And I'm not sure where my properties palette is. I really love the properties palette. So when I don't have the properties palette, I'm just asking myself, where, there we go. There we have the properties palette. Thank you very much. So what we're going to do is, now we have established this is just MA for this rectangle. Come to this rectangle and make it blue. Then at the same time, what we're going to do is, let's go to the line thickness or the global width. So the global width, I'm going to make it, because it's a polyline, I'm going to make it 25. Let's see how it looks. That's too much. So we're going to make it 15. All right, looks good to me. It's a bit thick, so it's just to establish that it's a column. So this is going to be established for all our corners. We're just going to establish it all the corners. So let's take it to this point, and let's take it to this point so that we have adequate support. And let's just grab it from this point and grab it from this point, and then we need to copy it. So we're just going to copy from there, the two of them. We need to copy them to this point. All right, that looks great. But at the same time, this seems to be a very long distance for us to have a beam spanning from, this is what, 8 meters, right? This is about 8 meters. So this is going to be too long. This is just my thought. It's almost 10 meters. Yeah, it's cool, but you know, it's just giving yourself unnecessary pressure, and you're gonna make the beams too deep. Let's just see what provision for downstand beams we have. So we have a provision of about, let me see, 450, but the downstand is actually going to be, let me see, 250. So if you want it to be 250, the distance between your beams has to be a bit short. But let's see, where can we put the other? So normally you would want to put it wherever the walls intersect, because normally you would have openings there. But just looking from the cleaned layouts, we don't have any openings on the ground, we don't have any openings on the first floor. And if we're going to check, let's just go to the side elevation, we don't have any windows at the sides. So that means we can hide whatever you want in the walls, because it's basically going to be wall from top to bottom. So what we're going to do is, let's just go to the middle of this. So what we need to do is, let's create a line. What is the midpoint? Let's snap to the midpoint of this. All right, then let's also snap to the midpoint of this one. Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Let's just remove that. So let's snap to the midpoint of this, and let's go there. Then the next thing is, we just want to snap from there, and right, looks great. So what I'm going to do is, let me chamfer this, or fillet this. All right, it looks great. Now we go to the midpoint of this line, which is there, and there we go. And now to verify if what I did is correct, let's just annotate. The distance has to be the same. All right, and let's continue. The distance has to be the same. Yeah, it's the midpoint. So this is the midpoint. So what we're going to do is, let me just copy this from there, and you copy it from this point, and then you establish it at this point. All right, that is cool. Then the next thing that you want to do is, let's just copy this from that point, and then you're going to establish it from this point, and then you go all the way to this point. So for me now, this looks great. What it just means is, we can actually just match properties. Let's take this, right, and it's right, this looks great to me. This looks great to me. This looks great to me. All right, so this is Control Z. Control Z. This looks great to me. So what we're gonna do is, let's just delete this one. It's no longer necessary. It's no longer necessary. So we've established where we want our columns. So this is where our bases are going to go as well. So for the bases as well, we need to size them. So normally sizing them is, you do your takedowns, but you know, as I say, the minimum bearing pressure that we will use is about 200. So from experience, what I've seen is a base, which is normally 1500 by 1500 works. So if it's, what we do is, when we actually do the design later on, if it's too much, then we reduce it. If it's too small, then we increase it. But from the start, what we're going to do, because we just want something preliminary, it's a preliminary design, bro. You don't have to think too much. Sometimes you don't have to think too much. So let's just put midpoint over there. Let's go to the midpoint of this as well. Let's do it like this. Then what you're going to do is, 1500 usually works. And remember, it's been a long time since I've been in the game, so I'm just doing things which I know usually work. So then what we could do is, now let's fillet. Let's fillet as if we have some steak, some fillet, some wagyu beef, some wagyu steak, some Kobe beef, dude. Oh, by the way, dude, guys, if you have never had crocodile meat before, oh my god, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you definitely need to. So right, that's now a polyline, and let's just join this. Let's join this, and let's join this. So we're joining this, guys. Yesterday I hit some amazing crocodile meat, bro. Woo! I actually see that steak. Anyways, I'm going off topic. The point is, now we've established our base and we just need to annotate. But dude, I had some amazing crocodile meat, bro. Woo! Dude, it was amazing. So it's 1.5 and it's definitely gonna be 1.5 from there. You're right, so that's great. So we have established our base. The next thing that we just want to do is let's just copy from this column and MA, just MA again. Oh, by the way, I do need to go for a hike, so let's make sure we finish this by say 7:30. So let's copy now. No, we just need to copy this to wherever we have our columns. So we copy tap, but then it's raining outside, so why would I want to go for a hike? I could sleep, then I could die, and nobody would even know where I am because it's Christmas. It's Christmas and I'm recording a video for you guys. Guys, I love you, man. Even though I'm not making money from YouTube, but you guys, I love you, man. I love you very much. Anyway, so there we have it. We have established this is what we call. So remember, we are now establishing the ground floor. So the first floor is really not important right now. Let's just move it. Dude, I still remember how to move in AutoCAD. That's great. Because I'm rusty, man. 2 months is too much for you not to be doing anything. You kind of lose out some of the skill. So that's why I'm doing this a little bit fast and a little bit slow actually. But it is what it is. Now that we have this, we have established the basis. Alright, that it looks cool. But remember, when it comes to the foundation layout, you also need the trenches and after establishing the basis. Because this is so, whenever you forget, you can always reference to another design or another drawing that you used to do. So this is a cool one. And let's go back. So now that we are back, the ground floor layout, remember, you need to have, what are you going to do? Let me just copy this because this is going to be the foundation layout, but we are going to need the ground floor layout as well. So I'm going to copy this to this point. This is going to be the ground floor layout, and this is going to be the foundation. Let me just caps foundation. Now it's the layout. Foundation layout. Obviously 1 in 100. So for the ground floor layout, obviously we are now going to need the basis. So you can always remove that. So let me just select a couple of this. We don't need this. Don't need this. And by the way, actually upgrading my laptop is cool. I'm actually using 2018. It's actually a cool software, man. All right, let's do it the old-fashioned way, where we delete one by one. Because you remember I used to use AutoCAD Civil 3D 2000. So for the ground floor, the only thing that's important is obviously to have your columns. So now we need to finish up on. Oh, you can always remove this. It's no longer important. Same applies for this as well. It's no longer important. So ready now that we know, you can always reference the clean floor layouts where we have openings. But when you're in the foundation, you don't have any openings. So the best thing is just to make sure everything is the same color. So now we're making everything red. All right. So we're making everything red now. All right, that's great. And then we're removing all those joints because in the ground there will be no joints. So yep. And this is, remember, this is the drawing that the contractor will use to set out the foundation as well. And the good thing about doing this drawing is it helps you, even because before you start to design, you need to visualize what everything will look like. And for those people, especially in developing countries, who do what we call personal projects or private jobs, you most of the time you'll be doing this on your own. You don't have a technician to, no, drafts person. I'm sorry about that. You know, some people might like, dude, that's not our job. Technicians, we do practical things. But I'm just saying, from most firms, for example, drafts people usually is somebody who has a anyways, let me just keep quiet. Let me keep quiet and focus on giving you the information. So now that we have the walls, the next thing maybe what we want to do, remember, if it's a foundation layout, as I told you, I don't have a pen wheel. You need to establish the trenches so that they know where we are taking the trenches. So just offset. Now it comes, all you need to do is to offset. So it's going to be a 790 trench. No, it's a 700 trench because it's 690. 230 by 3 is 700. It's 690. So we just round it off to 700 because no one really can dig a trench that's 790. No, that's 690. Sorry. So what we're gonna do is you offset that by 235. I know what I'm doing. Yep, it's 235. For wherever you have 230 walls, you offset this by 235. Some of you may be asking, are you sure? I am sure. You can always grab the calculator if you want, if you think I'm lying to you, but I am cocksure about what I'm doing. Then once you do that, you just want to fillet those lines. Filet mignon. Sometimes I wish I was, wait, oh, let me just control Z. All right, go get control Z. The last fillet that I did was wrong, so I need to offset this one as well by 235. That's great. Then we fillet this one. So just remember, what we're doing is we're establishing the trenches, and now it might be getting a bit confusing for you, so let's just go to this drawing. Let's go to the other trench, select blue, then come back. So you need to zoom out, then come back in, because I don't have my mouse wheel. Actually, my mouse wheel is there, but it's dead, so I can't pan. You know what a pan is, right? The pan is this function, the little hand. That's how you pan. So I can't grab down and pan, so I have to do it the old school way, which is the other reason why I'm a bit slow. Although it's been 2 months since I did anything that had to do with engineering or structural engineering. Let me just say structural engineering. So, right. And by the way, I really don't think structural engineering has money. Or I'm the one who's not able to monetize it, but compared to other things, man, this just doesn't really. And then for the 115 walls, you need to offset there by 192.5. I still know my game, bro. Woo! I'm sure if you want, you can always just check, grab a calculator. The trench for 115 walls is 500. So just do the math. It's 500 minus 115. Then you divide that by 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So that is good. Hopefully my voice is not too monotone, but it's getting to that high pitch now. The high pitch voice is what's nice. It's a bit feminine, but it sounds better on camera when you sound younger and feminine. Because even for singers have soft voices. That's what you want when you're recording, because the bass doesn't sound great when you're recording. Trust me, it doesn't, because people are not able to hear you clearly. So hopefully in this one, people were able to hear me clearly in the first segments. All right. So now that we've done this, the other thing is I had forgotten to offset this one by 235. You check this line there. Now that we offset it by 235, let's just MA to make sure that you guys can see which ones are the inner lines and which ones are the trench lines and which ones are not the trench line. All right, so there's a trench line, there's going to be a trench line. These are trench lines, and there we go. So everything looks cool right now. Then we're gonna fillet. So let's fillet. I don't know, is it fillet or chamfer? Chamfer? Je vous en prie. Oui, merci beaucoup. Oui, merci. French. Laissez la vidéo jusqu'à la fin. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. You guys, let the videos play to the very end. Don't just download the videos. Just let them play to the very end. So we've established the trenches. Then the next thing that we need to do is to trim, obviously, these trenches. And the next thing that we select the trim, and there we go. Right. Then select that and then select trim. That is cool, because obviously the trench is not going to be over the box, but it doesn't look good either way. It's not good. It's not aesthetic. It's not beautiful. Not as aesthetic. It's Big Ramy. Did you watch Mr. Olympia, you guys? I'm a huge fan of Mr. Olympia, by the way. Alright, so right, that looks good to me. Then select this and then select the trim. So right now, how many hours? It's about 40 minutes. I need to, if we're gonna make it an hour, it's okay. It's gonna be an hour, so that those people can watch this bloody video to the very end. Please don't download my videos without just let them play. Just even if you download, just let them play, man. Just let them play for the algorithm. Maybe that'll help me get monetized. Because I don't know why these guys do. You know, you think 1,000 subscribers will get you monetized? Nah, it doesn't work like that, man. It's now difficult. It's a tad bit difficult these days. I don't know why they're making it so difficult, but it is a tad bit difficult. So we have the foundation layout that is there. This is the list design. So we have about 20 minutes left. So hopefully in 20 minutes we can finish. Then now we're gonna hatch. Let's hatch. All right, we want to select. So let's hatch this. Pick points. You know, I wasn't sure if hatch was necessary, but let's just hatch. Let's just hatch. I don't want people complaining. Why isn't this professional looking? Is it because you're rusty? You're rusty and you're dusty. Oh, you thirsty? Oh, you thirsty, boy? Oh, you thirsty? Oh, you thirsty? All right. Seems like we're good. Then the next thing is just MA. Oh, that's what I like about 2018. It really picks up. It's more intelligent as compared to the previous version of AutoCAD. So hopefully today we can throw in some videos, because I do need to go and get some bread. My refrigerator is stocked with meat, but I don't have any carbohydrates, so I definitely do need to get some carbohydrates and come back and eat whilst I do these videos for you guys. And okay, that looks great. So with this audio, I think you might need to listen to this audio without earphones, because bear with me again, I'm in a place where, you know, my rooms are not finished. Everything is just, but I'm trying to make this video for you guys, and I owed you these videos. So now that we have this done, I think that's the important part. Everything is done, so you have established the foundation layout. Right, it's not as good looking as it should be. And then for the ground floor layout, this is what the ground floor layout is supposed to look like. You need to establish this is going to be my slab, this is going to be my isolation joint, socket joint. But you know what, this is just doing too much work for the contractor. So I think every contractor should have just the decency of knowing what a socket joint needs to be, or where a socket joint needs to be. You know, I mean, how down do you have to be, man? Okay, I'm sorry I had to say that. Anyways, remember, we're also going to have to use the ground floor layout for the first floor layout. So there we go. And now remember, when we're doing, so we're gonna leave the ground floor. We just need to do the first floor layout for this first floor layout. Dude, I'm just saying, the ground floor is not that important. What we need is the structures. So remember, we have a canopy at the first floor. So what we need to do is make sure this canopy appears on the first floor layout. So we just need to copy it from this point, and then we drag it all the way. So remember, from the architect's ground floor layout is what you use to establish the foundation layout and also the first floor layout. But then the first floor layout is what you use to establish the eaves layout. So to establish the first floor layout, obviously you're just going to need so remember, at the front we do have an opening. Let me just show you that we do have an opening. So that obviously needs to be in green. Let me Control Z, because, well, let me just go to the snap. I think this is where you have the snap. Where do you have your snap? I'm not sure which one is the snapping point. Is that the snap? Where do you snap? Okay, I'm sorry, but I've forgotten where. Yeah, snap settings. Okay, object snap, yes, I need to snap perpendicular. All right, that's great. All right, that's great. Looks like we're good. I'd forgotten where snap is. Dude, that shows you it's been a long time. And there you go. There you go. Snap to that point. So remember, we are going to have a frame structure. So these are going to be beams. These are going to be beams. And remember, we already said the beams can hide in the walls. But remember, This 115 walls do not do anything. They don't support any slabs, so you can just remove them. They are useless. They are very much useless because 115 walls are useless. They don't do anything for you. And remember, we're just going to have one beam there, so you don't need to have so many lines. So just join this one, JO. Then remove this, and then you remove this. So that looks tad bit okay to me. So in case, obviously you're watching these videos on YouTube, so please watch it on YouTube. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And in case this sounds a little bit different, is because it's been 2 months since I did a video, so obviously things might have changed. I might have lost my mojo, but hopefully my mojo hasn't been lost because you are still enjoying this. So this is a good early Christmas present for you guys. And voila, there we go. But I swear this video is going to be long or very huge. But then again, I think about 500. Let me see. How many minutes is this? 46. All right. I do have, how many? Let me just check my PC. What is this PC? Oh, we got 238. I'll be good, man. We can have 16. Anyways, it's okay. As we were saying, so for the first floor, remember, we are going to have beams through right round. So they're going to be downstand beams from the slab. And obviously, this is going to be a slab from this point. Let me just grab to this point. It's going to be a slab. But then the cool thing, remember, when you go to the section, this is something that I noticed. There's going to be a step. So the level of this slab is going to be different from the level of this slab. So you also need to establish that for this one. So what I'm going to do is let me just grab a line there to that point. I'm quite sure the diagonal will not work. So, and then we go to this point. Let's go to this point and come back to this point. So there we have it. We are now establishing our slab. Then the thing that we just need to do is let's make sure that okay, it's a bit difficult. What I'm going to do is let me just grab a rectangle. Let's grab a rectangle so that you guys can see that this is going to be a slab. Right, so we've grabbed a rectangle and we're just going to match properties to, all right, so that looks great. You see, so the blue thick lines is going to establish that this is going to be a slab throughout the entire. But then because you're going to have a step at this point, you're going to have to just introduce and make sure that is also visible on the layouts. So MA as well. Show them that these are two different slabs. So you're going to have a slab from this point to that point. And then you also need to make sure that this is dashed. What are we going to do? All right, let's see. Yeah, that is good to show you that it's beneath. These are beams and they're beneath the slab. All right, so that looks great. So you're going to have a slab there and then you're going to have your first floor layout there. All right, so this is going to be the first floor layout essentially. It's just showing, yes, this is where the columns are going to be, this is where the beams are going to be, and that's basically it. You're good to go. And yeah, this is the first floor layout. It's as simple as that. So this is going to be a slab that is going to be different from. So what we can do is let me just go and grab the text from this point. I assume, or we can use this one, and let's just grab it from there. And let's bring it, let's F8 to move, and then let's take it to, all right, so how thick is this canopy, by the way? How thick is it? So we're going to annotate, what did he want for his thickness? I'm just going to see if it works. Is it a 210? Oh, he wants it to be the same thickness as, but it's a canopy, it's not that necessary. So I think the slab as well was 210, right? Yeah, it's 210. So what we're going to do is we're going to establish a 50mm step. So 210 minus 50, that gives you, let's calculate that. 210 subtract 50, that gives you 160. Right. So instead of 210, what we're going to do is let's just put a, what if we say we're going to use a 230 thick slab minus 50. What does that give you? 230 thick slab minus 50, that gives you 230 subtract 50 gives you 180. So this, we're going to have a 180 thick, or we can use a 220. I'm just going to see which we're going to do the slab thickness. To this thickness of the slab, we also need to do it separately, but let's just finish the layouts for now. Then we will look at sizing. Let's just say millimeter deep canopy slab for now, so that you guys just know this is where the canopy slab will be. Alright, so let's just move. I think that looks great. Then let's just copy it from that point. Let's just copy it to this point, and let's just rotate it. Let's just rotate it somewhere like this. I think that looks great. This is going to be an RC slab. Alright, we're just going to, that's okay. Now what you're going to do is to establish the eaves. Just remember, for the eaves we're just going to need some beams, and the canopy is going to be there, that's okay. But for the eaves we're just going to need some beams. So what we're going to do is quite simple. So for the canopy of the eaves, I'm not sure if 230 will work, so I'm just going to put it at 300, the beam that's going to be there. So what we're going to do is, let me remove this, and let me just offset this by 300 inside this. Then remember, we need to copy this because the columns will go all the way to the eaves. They will go all the way to the eaves, man. So I definitely need to change up the style of presenting that I'm doing. This is because I was rusty and I had a lot of stories to tell, but we definitely need to go back to making proper tutorial videos. But I think the walkthrough is where we will actually do it straight to the point. No beating about the bush, straight. No foreplay, just quickie. You know what I mean? And there we go. So for the walkthrough, so this one you can assume this is the foreplay round. What am I even saying? Oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be saying that on YouTube. Anyways, so these are going to be beams as well. So yep, crap. Then we need to remove, because obviously at the eaves, these walls have nothing. They do nothing for us at the eaves. We don't even need them. Alright, we don't even need them. That's all I'm saying. And these joints as well, we don't even need them. Then what we're gonna do is, let me just grab this and say extend, and obviously there we go. Then I'm just gonna say join those two, and just join this two as well. So right now what we have established is, this is what the Eaves layout will look. But then remember, this is going to be part of the canopy of the beam, so that's why it is in blue. No, it's not in blue as yet, so we just need to make sure that it's also in blue. It's going, and it also needs to be quite thick. So what we will do, the best thing that we will do is, let's just extend. Yeah, we can always extend. Oh no, what we're going to do is, let me just grab from this point to this point to this point. Then we need to create a polyline that we will later on just trim. So once we do this, we've established. Alright, then we're going to trim. Alright, so that is great. This shows you this is going to be the canopy, all of it. And then just remember, because the beams are going to be underneath, this one is going to be underneath this, but then this one is not really underneath, so we're just going to leave it as thick. Yeah, it's going to be exposed. This is what's going to be carrying the roof. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you establish the foundation, the first floor layout, and this is your eaves layout. What else would you want to do at this point? So normally, you know, I'm a very technical person. I like to make sure that everything is detailed. But for now, what we're going to do is, let's just wrap the video right here, because an hour's video is going to be very long. Might be 2 gigabytes. Then I need to down sample it. So, and it's about 7:38. That's more than an hour now. So thank you very much for tuning in. So we have established the foundation layout. This is how you do the foundation layout. So first thing, I was just cleaning out the drawing. Now I was establishing the layout. So the layouts have to look something similar to this, but for the design purposes, you can actually use this. But what we're going to do is we have established the layouts. The next thing that we now need to do in the next video, what we're going to do is we now need to make sure that everything is nice, detail everything, specify whatever it's going to be. It's a preliminary design, but that's the other reason why I didn't want to be too specific, because we wanted to design first before we go down deep into this dimensioning, put in the names. So in the next video, we're just going to have to put the dimensions and a little bit of what do you call this? What do they call this? These are reference points, yeah, reference lines. Yes. So that is what we're going to do in the next video. So as you know, this is Christmas Day, 25/12/2020, the year that a lot of people have been, I don't even know how to say it. But anyways, if you're going to be drinking alcohol today, please make sure you're not drinking any cheap beer. My recommendation for you is, the best place to start is Seagram's Imperial Blue. Then there's Seagram's 100 Pipers. Then after that, you go to Henke's, and then you obviously have Jack Daniels. That is the premium. It's not a premium whiskey, but Jack Daniels is Jack Daniels. Anyways, I don't want to waste too much time. Thank you very much for tuning in. If it's your first time, please do subscribe to the video. I know this one might have put you off, but don't worry. When I start making walkthroughs, you're definitely going to enjoy it. This one is for somebody who has been with the channel for a long time, I think. But anyways, it's still beneficial. So as I said, I'm going to be dropping this drawing for you guys, but obviously it's going to be subtracting the notes, subtracting the detail circles, and I might subtract some of those things, because let's face it, man, if I give you too many things, somebody might say, no, you gave away my things, so please don't take off the video. And when I have to take off the video, if I get a copyright claim, dude, I have to restart another hour. Where do I find another hour? I'm just doing this for the Christmas, the 26th and the 27th, because this is where I have a holiday. So my holiday is for you guys. So hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, please stay safe and don't sneeze.